Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. This is episode number 2. We made it to the second one. I'm really psyched. I'm happy about the feedback I got from the first podcast. Although I believe a lot of you people weren't pretty honest because I still think I kind of suck. But we're going to get there. I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to get better at talking, trying to say the word like less. I like to do that a lot. But how about we just make a count and just comment down below how many times I use the word like. Yeah, okay. So today we're gonna talk about traveling, and to be more precise, somebody asked me how I travel on a budget. So great question. I'm probably not the best dude to ask this question just because the way I travel is a lot different than most people travel. But then I thought maybe I am the right person to ask this question. So I'm gonna try to do my best to answer this question. I will not give you the basic answers you get when you type it in on Google. I'm gonna do a little bit different. I'm gonna tell some stories, and yeah, the first part, the first tip I can give you is to not eat out. If you go somewhere nice, somewhere cool, food is usually really expensive, and if you go to a restaurant, you pay so much for food. So what I like to do is I like to eat a big breakfast, have a big breakfast, and then just go to a grocery store or something and make yourself some sandwiches. Well, I guess that's a pretty basic tip, but it saves you a lot of money. So, second tip, I'm gonna tell a story now. So, last year in August, my travel buddy, she came to visit Caress. She's from the United States and she came to Germany, and she didn't see a lot of Europe. She's been to Spain a couple times, but she's never been to Germany. So she wanted to see all of it, and she was there for 3 months. And I did the math. It was like 3 months. I have to work. I have off on the weekends, so we have something like 12 weekends. So we can see a lot of stuff if we do it the right way. And what did we do? We used my car, we drove to places, and we spent the night in the car. And it doesn't sound very comfortable, but it is cheap. And what's even cooler about it, it's fast. You don't have to check in into a hotel or a hostel or something. You just use the car, and it's awesome. It might sound a little bit uncomfortable in the first place, but Caress did a great job in preparation, in bringing blankets and pillows and supplies, and it made it 10 times better. I'd really prefer sleeping in the car than a tent. Yeah, and if you don't have a car, I just recommend using the bus. Public transportations in Germany, especially Flixbus, is very cheap, and you can get everywhere by bus. And of course, don't take a hotel, just take a hostel, or if you know someone, a friend or something, just hit them up if you can sleep on the couch or something. Yeah, that's a great way to save money and especially time. And we all know time is money. Yeah, okay. Now, third tip, and it's also a story. It's also with my travel buddy, Caress. We went to Chicago last year in May or something, and we were there for like 2 or 3 days. And I asked her if I could decide what we do on the first day, and then she'd get to choose whatever you're gonna do on the second day. And she was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I decided to do all the basic tourist things on the first day. I wanted to go up the Willis Tower, which is very expensive. We, of course, did the pictures, the selfies, and it was great. But then there was the second day. We woke up and Caress was like, "How about we rent bikes and we drive to Indiana?" Indiana is a state which is right next to Chicago, but still, from our hotel to the border, it was around 20 miles, which is a lot of more kilometers. It's let me do the math. 20 miles is about a little bit like 32 kilometers or something. And in the first place, I was like, well, why do I fly all the way to Chicago just to rent a bike and drive to Indiana. But then I was like, hey, that sounds like an adventure and it might be pretty cool. So I said, yeah, sure, why not? But I'm not gonna get a bike. I don't like bicycles. I'm just gonna take my skateboard, which turned out to be a mistake, of course, because going 20 miles on a skateboard is terrible. But we did it, and we drove along the bike path, which was right next to Lake Michigan and next to the skyscrapers. It was insane. It was so much fun. And we totally randomly stumbled upon a skate park, which was right next to Lake Michigan, and we skated there. It was really cool. Chris did some parkour stuff. I skated, and then we continued, and eventually my legs gave up on me, and Chris had the idea to take an Uber for the last 5 miles or something. So we got into the Uber. We got into a massive traffic jam. We had to lock that our Uber driver. She was a lovely lady in her, I think, late 50s or maybe 60s. And Chris started a conversation with her. And it was really interesting to see what this old lady had to say and all their stories. She talked about her sisters, about what kind of work she did. And then Chris asked her something really special. She asked her how it was to live in Chicago, and that just like blew my mind. So it got me thinking, like, okay, I'm here on a different continent, in a different country, a different city, and I have the chance to meet someone who is completely different than I am, grew up in a completely different environment, and now sharing all her knowledge and her experience with me. And to hear that was really intense. Really, dude. And it was kind of an eye opener. Yeah, then the lady dropped us off in Indiana. We went to a playground, had fun there, and yeah, long story short, the second day, of course, was 10 times better than the first day. And it only cost us like $15, and it was a lot cheaper. So, oh man, I forgot to turn on my cell phone. Sorry, dudes. But yeah, so the moral of the story is experience and communication and just talking with people from somewhere else is worth so much more than actually like doing cool stuff. Yeah. And that's my big advice to you guys. Don't only go for the fancy stuff. Try to be there, be in the moment, and suck it all in. What you're experiencing, the people, and just life. That is so much cheaper and so much better for you. Yeah. So, guys, I hope this answers the question how I travel on a budget. I hope you can get some value out of it. If you don't think so, just write something in the comment. And yeah, that was it. The second part of the podcast. Next time we're going to talk about something else. It's going to be some motivational stuff. Yeah, so tune in next week. Boys and girls, yeah, peace out. Bye. Somehow